welcome to Oz by Drone, or maybe we should call it Aussie Set Drone.
That's good. That's good. I like it.
G'day, Kelly. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just trying to keep up with two sets of chat. There's a lot to cover.
It's a lot to cover. It's a lot to have happen at the one time. We're live on YouTube, on my channel. We're live on Ready Set Drone, on Twitter, on Facebook, Twitch, DLive, Smashcast, and Mixer. We are everywhere. We're on Smashcast.
What is Smashcast? I've never even heard of that one.
It's another one. Look, we're out there. We're here for global domination, and we're also here today for global fly-in. Anyone who's watching us, if you want to fly today and have your video be part of the stream, that's what today is all about. So before we do anything, I'm going to get Lloyd to go and paste the info into the chat. In fact, I'll help him do that a little bit on the Oz by Drone channel. And if you can copy that over to the Ready Set Drone channel, and everyone will know how to do it and everything will work just wonderfully. I'll give you a quick summary though. What you need to do, you need to send your video to the URL that Lloyd's going to paste and just replace the your key part with something that's unique to you. So if Grumpy was going to fly, he would replace your key with Grumpy if that's what he wanted to use. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll see it come up here, and we're going to go and send your flight live to air today.
Sweet.
Okay. So what we're going to do also, as we go through the day today, we're going to have some news. We're going to mix that in. So anytime there's no one ready to fly, we'll have some news coming up. I'm just going to have a check to see, because Chris Hope was going to be one of our first flyers today so that we didn't have to wait too much. He's not yet there. So let's start with some news. Now, I don't have my funky titles today because my computer's doing other things, but let's get on with it. Our first story, this one's about a breakthrough in GPS-denied autonomous flight. The system on this particular drone, and this is a new startup, identifies and categorizes objects in the environment, people's, cars, and drones, and supplies real-time data. Now, this is really, really cool. If you have a look on the right-hand side, you can see like an ortho-stitched photo, and I couldn't tell from the article if this is live generated in real time, but I think it is. They're building that ortho shot in real time, and they're able to use, with no GPS, something to stitch that together and map the position of the drone. But this test that they're doing right here, you can see they've also got a GPS on board that they're not using for flight, and they're comparing the two together, and you can see the red line and the green line almost exactly in sync. So a really cool ability to go and fly without GPS in a place where you might be unable to receive GPS.
That is super cool. Is that the name of the company, SiteTech?
SiteTech, yeah. And the website for this is in the description. If you click in the description for the video, we've got links to all of the sources for this location, links for all of the locations where we found the information. So do click on that if you want to read some more about it. But SiteTech was the name of that company.
Sources cited, just like a good paper.
Absolutely. No fake news here. This is real stuff. So Kelly, where do you think you would use that kind of thing? Like, what places would GPS be a challenge? What are the kind of purposes you'd use it for?
You know what's funny? Actually, I was just Agent K is in the chat. Excuse me, Agent K is in the chat on both channels, I think. Mm-hmm. And hello, Agent K. I happened to catch Jake Sloan's live stream the other night. And Greg, do you know Jake Sloan?
I do, but not well. But yes,
he's up in Alaska, and he flies through a lot of glaciers and ice caves and things like that. And I could imagine there's places just like probably in Australia and also in Oklahoma and also in West Texas where, but as well as Alaska, where that would be very useful, because you're going to be in a place that probably one of the more remote places I've ever flown. A couple was West Texas out near Tulingua, and then also in Moab, Utah, outside of Moab, Utah. You can't actually fly in the park at Arches, but anyway, a very, very limited amount of cell service. Now, GPS was still solid, but you never know.
Yeah. And the other interesting use for that would be a military application as well, because if you've got the enemy wanting to do GPS jamming to try and bring you down. Well, you don't need GPS if you've got some of this kind of tech on board. So really useful for that as well. Let's move on to our second story. This one is, again, researchers using cameras, but this time instead of supplementing GPS, this time for drone collision avoidance, using some stereo cameras along with some gaming software in this case, powered by an NVIDIA Jetson on board.
Oh, cool.
So this kind of stuff, this kind of stuff is already on board to some extent. Like you have a look at your Phantom and your other DJI drones with your stereo cameras. But the difference that they're doing with this right now, they're actually going one step further and saying, instead of just looking for stationary objects, we're going to be looking for moving objects, looking at the depth perception of those and being able to use that for collision avoidance.
You know, I will say something too. Does that footage look sped up to you?
It is sped up. It absolutely is sped up, and that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, no. I mean, I'm sure it's impressive, but it's like, wow, those things are really zipping around at high speed. So I could tell it's probably like 2x or 3x what it normally would be.
Yeah.
But very cool stuff. You know, the other thing, did you notice the markers on the floor?
I can't from where I'm sitting over here, but I'll take your word for it.
There's some symbols on the floor, so they must be using those either for positioning or just as a way to tell where where these things are going, like in the choreography of how they're flying.
Yeah, from what I gather, this is an indoor thing, so they obviously don't have GPS in there, so maybe they're using that for positioning. But according to the research, the stereo cameras is specifically looking at the other objects for collision avoidance. I don't think it's taking into account. I'm going to interrupt for a bit of wonderful Telstra internet dropout for a minute there. It's just come back, hopefully. If you're having any problems, people who are watching, just click the reload button or the refresh button and you should be all good. You were saying, Kelly?
Oh, I know for me, I've found a lot of times having a vertical line. So for example, if I'm able to take off in a parking lot and take off exactly parallel with the parking lines or with the curb or something like that, it helps me to orient where I'm going to go and how I want to do my flight path. It's basically, I always try to think of north, south, east, west, and then degrees of that when I'm flying. And so I wonder if those markers in the warehouse might be something along those lines, almost like the ticks of a clock or something like that. I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent, but for me, flying is very, very. I always imagine myself above where I'm flying. Like, okay, if I was above this, it's that way or it's that way or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to bring in Lloyd's microphone as well. So Lloyd, hopefully your mic is up by now. Can you let us know if there's anyone who's telling us they're ready to fly in the chat, and we'll make sure we can bring them up?
Sure, yeah. Let's see. Mel says he's loading his gear. He'll be back soon. Okay, I'm not sure what that's all about, but I don't see anybody who says it yet. I've been posting it in both of the chats, which is hard to keep up with, but I'm looking to see. I don't see anybody else yet who says they're ready.
Hey, and since we have a moment here, I'm not sure. I'm going to look at the other chat here, but just everybody, real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to Rick Halber. I don't know if Rick Halber is in the chat or not, but he had a little health issue just recently, and Rick is one of these guys that supports the entire community all the time. So I just want to give him a shout out and make sure everybody's sending prayers and love to Rick Halber. So there you go.
Yeah,
howdy,
absolutely.
Rick Halber.
Absolutely. And just on the topic of chats, though, while you're mentioning it, we do have two chats. One of them is on my channel. One of them's on Ready, Set, Drone. Lloyd's going to try and monitor both of them, but unfortunately, he's only got one brain, so he may take a little while to respond.
And one's being a little bit generous.
Generous. Yeah. Okay, let's move.
Sorry, Lloyd. Hey, by the way, you know what? You still got more of a brain than some people, so I'm voting for you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Okay. Let's move on to our next news story while we wait for someone to join. I'll just do a quick one more time check, see if anyone's online there. Refresh.
I could while away the hours, consulting with the flowers, conferring with the rain. Anyone? with the thought, I'd be thinking I could be another Lincoln if I only had a brain.
Oh,
Lloyd's got a brain, but the number of brain cells, that's another story. But moving
It's
on
Wizard-
to our next
Wizard
story
of
in the
Oz.
news.
Wizard of Oz. It's Kansas. Just, it's right up there by Oklahoma.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're stuck between Kansas and Texas.
Well, you know what? If it weren't
That's
for
why we got tornadoes.
if it weren't for Texas Cowboys and Kansas City ladies, there wouldn't be an Oklahoma. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Well, it's like, the reason Oklahoma has so many tornadoes is because Kansas sucks and Texas blows.
All right, I'll take that. Took him horn.
Okay. Lloyd,
Back to the show.
back to the van. Go outside. Go on. Moving on. The next story, we've got a drone equipped with thermal camera that's been used to help put out a fire on a ship. This was in Jacksonville Fire Rescue Department, and they had a ship, obviously that was burning. They used the thermal imaging to help the crews to go and put it out. Unlike something that's, say, a house fire, you can see, where the wood or something is penetrating, the fire's going through that. It's a lot easier to see with the naked eye. But when you've got a ship, it's a lot harder to know exactly where to go. And that was helpful to them in doing that.
That is, if that weren't on fire, that would be really cool. That is, so, I wanted to mention one thing real quick too. Brian Fannery brought a FLIR camera on a Matrice 400, I think, to spin up the first year, and had that thing flying in the Dell Diamond, and we had a big screen set up, so it had a live view, and you could see everybody's signature. It was December 1st, I think, 2018, and you could see everybody's heat signature walking around in that stadium. Those cameras are just so, pardon the pun, but they're so cool. Heat cameras are so cool.
They are. I've got one of the small ones, the FLIR Go or something like that. It sits on the end of my iPhone. Really cool tool. Pardon the pun again.
Does it work pretty well?
It does work very well. Yeah, it does work well. Obviously, I'm not going to necessarily go and strap my iPhone to the bottom of my drone and fly that. But other than that, let's move on to something else that's cool, or in this case, not. Police drone and helicopter collided earlier this year in a flight over Canada. This was a FLIR Skyranger R60 drone, and it was also an Aerospatiale AS350. Now, both of these aircraft, here's the kicker, were being operated by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Let's watch.
It was February 6th this year. For most everywhere else, an unremarkable date. But not southwest of Houston, for two reasons. One, it's the day the RCMP ordered a controversial exclusion zone during the gas pipeline protests. And two, it was the day an RCMP helicopter with 3 people on board collided with a drone, an RCMP drone.
Also operating in the area were 2 RCMP remote pilot air systems, RPAS, better known as drones. During low-level flight below 300 feet, the helicopter and one of the RPAS units collided. The helicopter suffered some initial vibration, and the pilot completed a precautionary landing on a nearby road without further incident.
So this is just a really short clip, and there's a longer news story that you can have a look at if you click the links in the description. But there's a couple of points here. First of all, no one was prosecuted. So if you're flying a drone near a helicopter in different parts of the world, and Canada's particularly famous for their drone laws, I would have expected someone to be prosecuted.
Well, the thing, I would say that because they were both part of the same operation, it sounds like, and part of the same agency, I don't know. I don't feel like prosecution would be, especially if nobody was hurt, right? If this had turned into something where taxpayer dollars were destroyed, the helicopter was damaged, somebody was injured, I don't know. I'm not the bloodlust guy that you are, I guess, Greg.
Look, by the same token, we've got someone in America this week who was prosecuted for, or actually physically arrested, I don't know about prosecuted yet, when he was operating his drone too close to another helicopter. Those kind of things happen.
Whole different. First of all, it's a different country, right? The people in Canada are much nicer than the people in the U.S. I'm married to a Canadian. I can say that. It's true. And second of all, again, it was if it had 2 agencies, or if it had been a private citizen or a law enforcement agency flying in a private helicopter, that would be a different story. But I feel like it's almost like one person in a family getting somebody else in the family sick, right? It's in that family. And I'm not saying they should have covered it up. They certainly have to have transparency about it, but I don't know why anybody would be prosecuted. I disagree with you. Final answer.
I'll respectfully continue to disagree. I think the fact that it was the police and that may have had an influence in the fact that they weren't prosecuted, but same family or not, you can't go and murder your husband or your wife.
The Canadian Mounties are like the guys who help old ladies cross the street.
Okay,
Actually,
let's move on. There's one other. Sorry, go Lloyd.
What I was going to say is because it was a police matter, it's probably being handled internally. Both pilots may be reprimanded and something put on their permanent records, but that would probably be, and that's how our police department here in the States would handle it probably too. Even though, because if they both had permission, they both, yes, somebody screwed up and they're going to do an internal investigation and that will be handled internally. And that's the way our police department would handle it here in the States as well.
And military too, right, Lloyd?
And the military. Yeah. Because the military, we have screw ups all the time and they get Article 15s, they get captain's mast, all sorts of different, depending on the branch you're in. That's how they handle it. If
somebody outside of the military, then it's handled internally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point. Is if someone outside had been involved, I could see it being necessary to prosecute them in a state or civil court. But in terms of everybody being internal, but again, the cover up part is the part that is not cool.
Right.
So let's talk about that. So Geeks Varner has just mentioned that the public reporting of the incident was delayed while they carried out the internal investigation. And I guess this kind of stuff frustrates me because they weren't operating outside of their local aviation authorities' rules and guidelines. The fact that it was police means what? What does it mean? There's still someone flying aircraft. The local aviation authorities still need to investigate that. You shouldn't be delaying that stuff pending an investigation by the people who went and had the collision.
Oh, I agree.
Anyway.
The cover up, the delay, none of that stuff is right. But I guess what I'm saying though is that as long as they had come out and said, we are doing an investigation of this. This is the protocol we're following. Nobody outside of the agency was injured. Nobody was injured at all, actually. And so, there you go. And I suppose if a civil judge wanted to take it to there, they could try to, but I don't see the point. I mean, it's just a waste of money.
Okay, just a quick little interruption. We've got Wayne. Yeah, I'm just about to bring up his feed right now. So while I do that, can we get a two-shot of the two gentlemen there, our co-host and comic relief, and tell a joke to each other? Go on, and I'll do this.
All right, Kelly, you got a joke? You go first.
Gosh, hey Lloyd, what kind of bird flies straight towards you? I just ruined it.
I have no idea.
A duck.
Oh, Kelly, I was going to give you a nasty look, but I see you already have one.
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done. Okay.
Okay.
Keep going. I just got a bit more here.
Well, Lloyd, you know how many flies it takes to screw in a light bulb?
No, how many?
2, but don't you wonder how they got in there?
I usually don't crack up at these because that's the point, is to try not to laugh. But that was absolutely funny.
That's one of my favorites. That's a classic. So, I guess they call it PG-13 dad joke.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you call a belt with a watch on it?
A belt with a watch on it. I don't know.
A waste of time.
That's a dad joke. Oh, hey, we got some footage from somewhere with some hills and mountains. What's up?
So this is from Wayne King, and he lives in the Australian Capital Territory. Let me see if I can get that audio down a little bit. Which fader is it? Not that one. I can't hit that fader.
He says
Can you
he's got
pull it
no
down?
sound on his system, so it's we are looking at Canberra in the morning.
What's he
Okay.
flying? What kind of drone?
I don't know, Wayne. What are you flying? I don't know if he can hear that. Let me ask him.
So we do have
Canberra.
audio. Canberra, not Canterbury.
Where
Yeah,
is
well-
Can?
This is
Canberra.
the Australian equivalent of Washington. So he's flying in the capital.
Flying in the capital. All right. Wow. It's a very beautiful place. It looks like.
Yeah.
And where is this? North, south, east, west?
So Canberra, as far as a location, we've got. He's flying a Mavic Pro. He just
Mavic
said
Pro.
so. He's got a delay, but that's what he's flying.
Okay.
Nice. Canberra is what part of Australia?
Canberra is, if you can imagine, Sydney and Melbourne. When they were trying to set up the capital, they were trying to decide where to put the capital. And Sydney wanted it in Sydney, and Melbourne wanted it in Melbourne, and they agreed on a place in the middle somewhere.
Okay, so right between them.
Roughly, probably closer to Sydney than Melbourne, though.
And where is the downtown area? Can you point towards the downtown area, Wayne?
So he's got a little bit of delay. He's only listening to us on YouTube. So Wayne, we've got a request from Kelly. If you could point your drone towards, the center of Canberra, that would be helpful. So obviously Wayne, I think, is probably in his backyard and not necessarily wanting to go flying over streets, and like all good pilots, flying safe, flying legal. But if you could point it.
Doing a little rotating on axis, which is great. I do that all the time. No, it's a beautiful looking spot. Absolutely gorgeous with the hills. Is it near a mountain range, or are those just typical hills of Australia?
There are some mountains around there in that area, but he's trying to, I assume, catching up and pointing right now towards the center of Canberra. So he's obviously not right in the center there.
Yeah.
he's-
But
yeah.
up towards those hills. Looks like he's near a park or a golf course or something back there too.
Yeah. I'll just get my producer to turn the audio back up for Wayne for a minute, because he was just saying something. What was that? If you can tell us what we're seeing there, Wayne.
Hey Wayne, how you doing?
Now, if anyone else is ready or wanting to go flying wherever you are in the world, we'd love to see some sunsets from different parts of the US as well.
Very, very cool. I mean, just to think about this whole thing, I'm often reminded of the fact that we have people in the chat from all over the world here. We've got the UK, we've got the Northwest with Shane and Sean, and California with Steve and
hear me?
and
Can you hear what,
I mean,
can you
we're
actually
just-
We can
what I'm
hear
saying?
you. We can hear you, Wayne. Absolutely. Go ahead. We can hear you, Wayne. There is a delay, though, from YouTube.
Wayne, this is Houston. Come over.
So if anyone else does want to fly, just a reminder that, this is a global fly-in. We want to have some flights from your parts of the world. Doesn't matter where you are. You can send us your video from any drone that can send RCMP. All of the DJI Go 4 compatible drones can do that. Unfortunately, the new DJI Fly app
rightio.
doesn't
Sorry
have
about
that.
the delay. You're
right.
actually looking at the Tuggeranong Valley.
Okay, so that's the Tuggeranong Valley that he's looking at right there.
Very cool. And as far as the size of this town or city, how big is this population wise?
So Canberra or Australian Capital Territory is like a state. So population, we've lost him. You can do the Googling for me if you could.
I can do that.
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
Except I don't know how to spell Canberra. Is it K or C?
Canberra.
They don't teach students in the U.S. very much about Australian geography, I'm sorry to say.
That's okay. Lloyd knows everything about Australia.
I'm going to have to bring my bird
maybe.
in now.
You're going to have to bring it in? Okay. Wayne, thanks for that. And just if anyone else wants to go fly, when your signal comes in, you don't have to listen to us. You just tell us the story of what you're doing, what you're seeing, and where you're flying. We won't ask you questions because otherwise it's a big delay and a hole in space and time.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all right. So
well, it looks as though
the
Australian Capital Territory, also known as the ACT. Do you guys call it the ACT over there?
The ACT.
ACT. 428,060 residents. It's not a very big place. Not too many.
And a bunch of dogs.
And a bunch of dogs.
Okay, let's go back to the studio because Wayne's disconnected there now. So that was cool seeing that part of the world. Now, a reminder, anyone who wants to go fly, doesn't matter where you are, we're going to be broadcasting on Kelly's channel, my channel, and a bunch of other places. And all you need to do is send in your video stream to us. Again, go to the chat. Lloyd will provide some instructions in there on how to do that. The important thing to remember, with that URL, it says rtmp.dronebook.org/live/your-key. Make that something unique to you. Wayne used the word Wayne. You can be Grumpy or you can be Kelly or whatever it is. Just give me something that's unique and I'll bring it in. Grumpy Kelly. Okay, while we wait for the next person to come in, let's get on with a little bit of more news. We were talking about the RCMP stuff. I want to add one more point about that. It's interesting to note that despite having a collision between a helicopter and a drone, that the helicopter was able to land safely. So all of these things about, we've got to regulate these drones, we've got to stop them from doing this, stop them from doing that. Not saying that you shouldn't avoid a collision with a helicopter, but it's a good example of how, despite the panic, that there were no lives lost in there. Still, we shouldn't deliberately try and find it, but it's good to note that there was no loss of life.
Yeah, and who knows what sort of evasive actions the pilot had to take, or how it happened. It definitely sounds as though it was poor planning on somebody's part.
Yeah, definitely. And again, there was another video which I didn't bring up today that was an impact with a biplane where they deliberately flew a drone into the wing of the biplane while it was airborne. The biplane had some scrapes, but there was no damage to the biplane. And they did another deliberate impact into the propeller of the biplane. And hate to say it, but the drone didn't win.
Well, may I ask why? Was this a test, I hope?
This was a test. So because you've got a biplane and you've got an upper and a lower wing, they said, well, we've got wing redundancy and we can actually fly with one wing. We want to disprove the theory. We want to disprove the theory that, you remember that video where they shot a drone at a wing, right?
I remember it. Yeah. And it tore a hole in the wing and everything. Yeah.
Well, they didn't exactly fly a drone and it wasn't a real test. So they wanted to do something different and they proved a few light scrapes on the wing. So
I just want to know who talked this biplane pilot into doing this, right? Hey, Bob, we got a job for you. You're going to take the plane up and we are going to fly a drone at you. You got two wings. Come on. I'll bet that guy was from Oklahoma. Just saying.
No, he was from marketing.
Jeez. Yeah, good one.
Okay. Well, the thing that can happen from a biplane getting damaged midair is death. Now, we want to talk about death next. Texas State have awarded $280,000 grant to use drones to locate human remains. Now, in the vision that we have here, we can obviously see from this drone where the human remains are. I didn't have any footage with this, but I thought, well, we may as well have a cemetery and make it a little bit spooky. But in the story, they're using hyperspectral and multispectral imaging which will allow them to find out where someone in a cold case is buried underground. Really, really cool. $280,000 grant the Texas state has awarded to find human remains.
Was it awarded to Texas State or by Texas State? Do you know?
By Texas State. Texas State have awarded this.
So Texas State is very close to where I live, and actually I did a video for their School of Nursing and got to fly with permission and all the right paperwork, got to fly my drone on the Texas State campus, which was really cool. So Bobcats, Texas State Bobcats. So I'm glad to hear they're doing good things. It's funny, they at one point, probably about 15, 20 years ago, when I even more, when I went to school, when I went to the University of Texas, Texas State was known as Southwest Texas State, and they were voted one of the biggest party schools in the U.S. And I think they took that as a wake-up call and have become very, very serious about research and about nursing and about a lot of other things. And it's become quite a good school. And by the way, San Marcos, Texas, I don't know, Lloyd, if you've ever been down there, but San Marcos is beautiful. It's a great little town.
Yeah, I have been. Yeah. You say when you went to school there, was that back when they still had the, still had wagon trains and stuff, or was it earlier than that?
Oh, no. I mean, it was mostly, we learned how to make wheels and how to bang things with rocks and sticks.
Shoe horses? Did you shoe horses?
No. Yeah. We weren't shooing horses yet. That came much later.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. Yeah.
I
like the fact that Lloyd's hitting me with an old joke. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Well, if there's anyone who knows all of the old jokes, he's got a collection of them that have been used against him.
He's got a lot more experience telling old jokes than me. He's had more time to do it.
He still gets my vote. He's got a lot of wisdom.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. The next story, while we're waiting for our next person to join, and let's just quickly talk about how to join again. Wherever you are, if you're in your backyard and you've got a drone, a DJI drone, get it set up, send the RCMP in. We've given you the instructions in the chat, and we'll bring it into the show and show a little bit of your part of the world. Chris Hope was going to be flying today. Hopefully he'll be up in the near future. Ken Herron has also indicated that he's going to be flying today. Jeff Sills has indicated he'll be flying. I might give those guys a call in a little while to give them a reminder. But if you want to fly and be part of this as well, get your drone up. If you need any help doing that, we've got guys in the chat that can help you. And
if you can't get your drone up, we've got some pills that'll help too. Silence. Really? That was pretty good.
Yeah, but Lloyd left the room. It didn't have the intended effect.
So actually, I'd love to see where Jeff is flying, because I lived in Houston for a very long time, and I'd love to see if he flies in Houston, what part. And by the way, Greg, did you notice on that Canadian story about the helicopter and the drone, they said something about Houston? Was it Houston, Canada?
Yeah, there is a Houston, Canada.
Oh, well, I heard that, and I was like, wait a minute, did he play the wrong video? Thank you, Agent K, for at least acknowledging that was a funny joke. If you can't. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, okay. So let's move on to our next story, jokes aside. This one is a drone inspecting a tank. So obviously when you've got ships that are involved in, moving oil and fuel and all sorts of other things around, you want to be environmentally friendly and prevent any leaks. And previously, going and working out if there are leaks in those tanks required lots of scaffolding and ropes and people and humans physically getting inside those tanks. But instead, we've got this solution. Let's have a look.
Scout Drone Inspection and DNVGL are pioneering a new approach that uses drones and artificial intelligence to inspect the tank. The companies have partnered with Altera Infrastructure to carry out the latest test.
So what we have here is a custom-built quadcopter framed drone. The main purpose of the drone is to gather visual data. Mainly we have a camera up front that gathers the data we're interested in. We have a 3D LiDAR, which is used for navigation and mapping inside the tank. And then we have a computer system on board that does all the computational work.
The highest point inside the tank is approximately 19.4 meters high. Traditionally, the surveyors would use scaffolding to inspect the tank, but often rope access and climbing is needed for a thorough inspection. The drone, though, can reach all corners of the tank with much greater speed. The video is live-streamed to the customer and interpreted by DNVGL's algorithm, which is being developed to spot cracks and anomalies.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Again,
That
saving
is
people
very
from... Yeah, and again, doing stuff where you're in a GPS-deprived environment. So again, this will definitely be using optical flow and other techniques to work out where they are and use that to manage their position. I also am very, very curious. Again, if you're in a big steel tank or some other metal tank, how are you actually getting compass in the middle of that thing and using that? That's kind of scary to me.
So, Greg, have you heard of the Helios 2 drone?
I've heard the name, but I haven't got into it at all.
I was supposed to actually do this around the time of South by Southwest, which was in March, but with COVID, it didn't happen. I have a connection at a company in Houston, actually back to Houston, that rents this thing. It's called the Helios 2, and it is a Swiss-made drone that does exactly that: tank inspections, pipe inspections. It can get through pipes that have a diameter of 20 inches. This is the smallest it can go through, because it's like, I don't know, 14 inches across. And I don't know what that is in centimeters, but it is a $30,000 drone, and it has cameras all over it. It has a big carbon fiber ball around it, so that basically if it bumps into something, it can back out of it with this ball. It will never get kind of stuck on things. It's super cool. The company's based in Houston. They have several of them, and I might have the opportunity to go out and actually train on it, not because I'll be doing it, but to make a video about it. So I'm really excited about that. So if you just Google, it's MFE Rentals. MFE Rentals is the name of the company, and Helios 2 is the drone if you want to see what it looks like.
Okay, I'll definitely have to do that. I'll just quickly interrupt and say we've got Anubis Arts wanting to go flying today. Now, I'm going to do this on my phone right now, even though obviously I don't have a drone attached, but you go into DJI Go on your phone, click the three dots in the top right-hand corner, select live broadcast platform, click on custom RTMP, and then you've got to type in rtmp://rtmp.dronebook.org/live/something else. Do not cut and paste it from somewhere else, because I tried that one time and it had a carriage return or a new line or some other hidden character that didn't allow it to work. And Anubis said it keeps on trying to connect. I'll bet you that's what it is in your case, but it's definitely ready and available for anyone who wants to come fly live today. Mitch, old guy. I've got Mitch ready to come in, so let's go and get Mitch up now. Stand by.
And Mel's going to be coming in quickly too.
Where is Mitch?
Mitch lives in Florida.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I guess Mel is further west, so he has a bit more time.
Yeah, Mel's in Arkansas.
Yep.
So
I just actually sent a package to Mel. He and I are going to do a co-review of an RC plane. I don't know if you know this, Lloyd, but Mel's actually a pretty good RC plane pilot.
Yeah, I knew. I haven't seen him fly, but I knew that he did.
So we've got Mitch up here now.
Oh, Mitch has a tiny hawk.
Yeah, Mitch. As you know, there's a delay from what you're hearing on YouTube. We're not going to talk and ask too many questions. We'll let you do the talking, and I assume you're going to do something amusing for us. Let's have a look. What's Mitch going to show us?
Well, it looks like he's flying a Tiny Hawk 2, which is awesome. Yeah. One of my favorites.
So we're just waiting for him to take off. Now, I don't know, assuming he's going to do some indoor flying for us and give us a tour of his house or whatever
we see
building that is.
So far.
Yeah, we see his workbench.
Looks like his batteries are 100%, 4.3 volts. He's in horizon mode. Yeah.
81 makers.
We've got Anubis Arts ready to come in as well. I'll get him ready as well in the background.
Should have Mel ready to come in too. He said he was ready to start as well.
Come on, Mitch. Take off. Arm that thing.
Money doesn't buy happiness. Well, it does buy a jet ski. Have you ever seen a sad person on a jet ski?
Who said that? Was that in the chat? That's pretty good.
No, it was one of my jokes.
I like it.
You made my wife laugh, so you must have done something good. By the way, a quick little aside. Wife and daughter physically got their certificates today. They're officially Australians.
Nice.
All right.
Paperwork.
Congratulations.
And they can prove it. They've got the paper to prove it. That arrived yesterday. So Anubis Arts, I've got a stream from you coming in, but there's nothing there. I've got 0 frames per second coming from you. That's what we're physically getting from you at the moment. So
Geek Spawn says money doesn't buy happiness, but I'd rather cry on a private jet.
So Lloyd, I love your joke. You don't see anybody on a jet ski with a frown on their face. The other thing, you never see anybody that is playing a ukulele who's not smiling. If you're playing a ukulele, you're pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's like one of these things you can't help but smile if you're playing a ukulele.
Yeah, that's one instrument I don't have. Judy won't let me get one. I threatened to get one. She says, "No, you got enough."
Oh, they're so small. They're so small.
I know. It's because they play. I have a mandolin which plays the same way. So,
well, I play a guitar, and I've never really. I have a ukulele, and I've never really learned the chord structures on it, which I don't think would be too hard to do, but I should. And it's all about the strumming pattern on the ukulele. It's kind of it's like what, down, up, down, or something.
Right, exactly.
By the way, a quick little interruption. Anubis Arts, I've got 2 streams from you coming in. I'm going to get you to do a different name. So change it from Anubis Arts to something else. So there was the dead one and there's a good one. Mel is ready to go. I'm just about to get him up. Yep. 400.
Hey. And I think this is on my side, but Wayne King just sent in a super chat for $10 Australian and says, "LOL Lloyd." So thank you, Wayne. Much appreciated.
And there we have the man himself. We have 400 AGL. Whoops.
Oh, that's Mel. Oh, we lost him.
He's coming back. There we go. Clear props, ready for takeoff. He's listening to the stream in the background, waiting to hear when to go.
Go, Mel, go. Hey, look, I just want to tell everybody, too, any super chats I get tonight are going to go towards the the fund for Lloyd the Grumpy Vlogger's ukulele. So I think we should all chip in and get him a ukulele because Lloyd smiles a lot already, but I think I can imagine the smile on your face playing a ukulele. If we got you one, would you play something for us on a show, Lloyd?
Yeah,
right.
I actually would. Yeah.
All right, love it.
So again, in the background, Mitch, old guy, we've still got your video feed there, but it's pretty boring looking at the bench. If you want to go and actually do something with the bird, let us know. We'd love to see that.
He said to try it again. I'm going to try and...
So can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah,
hey,
we can
Lloyd.
hear you, Mel. We can hear you, Mel, but don't bother trying to listen to us because there's a big delay. So you just talk, tell us what we're seeing, and we won't ask you questions.
Well, I think he's in Little Rock. Well, Fort Smith, not Little Rock.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking Little Rock? They're all Arkansas. I don't know the difference.
Okay, what you're about to see is the old Fort Smith courthouse, the old Sebastian County courthouse.
Good Parker.
Wow, golden hour too. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. This is where Judge Parker, the hanging judge, this was his courthouse. If you guys have seen True Grit and Rooster Cogburn, well, that's what, even though it was filmed in Colorado, this is what it was representing.
That was a courthouse? It looks like a dormitory.
Yeah, no, that's a courthouse.
Is it still actively used?
Sorry, guys, I have a spectator here that's asking me questions, so you might hear some of that in the banter as well.
Yeah, I was just listening to Mel talking and telling someone that he's an FAA licensed commercial pilot, and so someone's asking some questions there. Now we've also got TJ who's sending us a video stream at the moment as well.
Mitch said he tried, but he says he's under TJ Grady.
I'd probably wreck it.
Are you from here?
Well, I'm from Rowland.
So we've got TJ, but we've got TJ also up at the moment, but the shot from that one is not moving at the moment, so I don't know if that's frozen or we'll stick with Mel for now.
I'm scared I'll fall.
This is actually the city that Judy and I got married in. Was Fort Smith. Not in this courthouse, though.
Courthouse right now.
Okay.
Justin Anderson and Ready Set Greens chat want to know if Mel was getting ready to offer the kid a chance to fly.
We've got TJ in there as well. It's a very low bit rate. There we go.
You see the Arkansas River in the background, y'all. Now where I'm located, I am right on the edge, and I mean right on the very edge of a no-fly zone for a historic site. The historic site is actually not the courthouse, believe it or not, but it's that building coming into view on the right-hand side of the screen right now with all the windows and stuff. That's the old Fort Smith, it's called Frisco Station. It's the old railroad station, and it's that where that black pickup is 2nd Street. Oh, can't go that way anymore. Where the black pickup is 2nd Street, and 2nd Street toward the river is where the no-fly zone is. It encompasses that building, so I can't go any more toward the west. And I can't go north now because I'd be crossing Garrison Avenue. That's Garrison Street Bridge across the river. And on the other side of the river is, guess what? Lloyd's home state, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, Kelly, this is actually the town Judy and I got married in.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. It looks beautiful, and that looks a pretty substantial river. I just saw a good-sized boat go by. Are there like flat
flying from?
Yeah,
is on 2nd Street, and that red sidewalk, that red brick sidewalk, is where the no-fly zone starts. So I have to be very careful not to get over that.
truck.
Very cool.
Yeah.
A nice evening. What's the temp there tonight, Mel?
And here we are. Safe and sound. After a... Whoops, let's point the camera the right direction. Safe and sound after a little tour of the Sebastian County Courthouse and historical Frisco Station. I'll see if I can get a shot of that sign. Right there. That's the historic building right there. And they've got it all roped off and stuff. You're not even supposed to walk over there. So I wish I could fly over it, but
It's probably, Kelly,
You know what I always
it's
say.
probably around 83, 84 degrees.
hashtag fly legal, hashtag fly smart, hashtag fly safe. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everybody in chat. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this off and let somebody else have a turn.
Okay, so thanks
So
for
there
that,
you
Mel.
go. You watch me
Yeah.
push the button on the screen to end the live stream. Boom.
And we've still got this over here. He's still waiting for us to do something with that drone there. That feed
Yeah, he
is still
said-
live.
He said he's trying to take off, and it's not streaming for some reason.
It is streaming. I've got it. It is live
Okay.
now.
Well, we've got. I mean, have him lift the drone up and like spin it around with his hands to see if we're getting if it's just a freeze frame.
No, it's not a freeze frame. I am seeing bitrate coming in. 4.63 megabits per second coming in.
Well,
come on, Mitch, pick it up for us.
Somebody was asking what Mel was flying. I think he's flying the Mavic 2 Pro is what he was flying.
So while we're waiting for Mitch to pick up his drone or for someone else to come in, by the way, we did have TJ come in briefly, but he didn't have good internet service where he was, unfortunately. I did have a phone call to Jeff Sills, who was going to fly today, but unfortunately he's got babysitting duties, looking after the kids. So that was not to be today. Come on, pick it up. Is that a live shot or not? Still showing 100%. Surely the battery would have gone down a bit by now.
yeah, I think it's frozen. I think you gotta, even though you're still getting an image, I think it's it definitely wouldn't be 100%.
Yeah, so let's leave that alone. And while we wait for the next one to come in, let's talk about our next news story. Scientists are using drone technology to capture striking footage of a colony of 64,000 green sea turtles. This was in December of 2019, but the footage is just coming out now. Researchers took advantage of drone tech to conduct some population surveys at Rain Island, and this is the footage. Let's have a look.
That's beautiful.
I'm just reading some of the text here, some of the comments. There is at this point absolutely no need to remind people that nature is pretty awesome. Joining the list of other things that we've seen by drone before are sea turtles, and this footage was captured by the Queensland government. They recently posted this footage on the Queensland Environment Twitter account, showing thousands of green sea turtles nesting just off the coast of Rain Island, calling it one of the most spectacular sights that people will see.
All I can think of is Finding Nemo.
Really cool. So that's the Australian government posting that. It's good to see. Good to see some of that footage.
Go
Now,
Australia.
let's have a quick look. See if anyone's in the server. No one is live at the
Chris
moment.
Hope wanted to know how long after the hour you were going to go, because I don't know. He's in the chat, but he may not be home yet.
Okay, so short answer is I've got a bunch of news stories left, and it depends on how many people join before then. I'll stay as long as we can to get a couple of shots today. I'd love to see Chris flying. Let's go to our next story in the meantime, and then maybe we can have a Stump the Grump.
Stump the Grump.
We'll have some fun. The next one, remote parts of Korea are going to see drone delivery in 2021. The drones will use the port's logistic infrastructure to get drone deliveries off the ground. Next year, Pablo Air are planning to complete a 40 to 50 kilometre run. Let's have a look at some of that. So this has definitely been sped up. Now there's a small little island or a small location off the edge there. They've set it up as a waypoint mission and starting to do some drone deliveries there.
A few boats in the water.
Mitch said that he flew 3 flights, so he says, do you want him to try again? So do you want him to reconnect and try it?
Mitch, you're more than welcome to retry it. Absolutely. Love to see it. So that flight was significantly sped up, but they've got their drone delivery stuff happening. This is a remote island in South Korea, and Pablo Air are doing some of that delivery work over there. Good use of some drones.
Wow, that's a big one too.
Yeah.
And there's my DVD. Thanks, Blockbuster.
Yeah, if you're going to do a knockoff of a drone like that, I mean, it looks like a knockoff of a SEMA 6-copter. At least it's big.
It is big, yeah. Probably would take a bit more battery power than a SEMA would.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, Lloyd, did you ever fly that little copter, that little helicopter-looking thing?
Yeah,
what do you think of it?
I liked it. It's fun. As a matter of fact, it's still sitting there. I actually flew it on the show, and I kept bouncing it off the camera.
Oh, nice.
My flying skills really suck.
Well, but I think it's got prop guards all around it, but
it does.
It's the most sleek looking thing. I mean, it looks like the kind of thing. It reminded me of the vehicle they used in Avatar, if you remember that movie.
Yeah. There it is right here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Matter of fact, I think that's how I won it, because that was your question.
Yep.
So, yeah, right. I got it in front of me. So
I see the Tiny Hawk, and I see it looks like it's live. I see a ceiling fan spinning. So
we have motion.
Like Tiny Hawk.
Okay, go Gadget Mitch.
Just send him a text in there to let him know he can take off. Because he's waiting on the delay, the voice. There we go.
There it goes.
It's moving. All
Tiny Hawk into house.
Yep.
So how do you think he's sending this signal from the Tiny Hawk? I guess the HDMI out from his goggles?
Not sure, but if I was him, I'd be getting a USB stick into a computer. And using that, you can go and screen capture that into an RCMP sender.
Yeah, but he still has to get it from the goggles to.
No, you can have something that there's a USB stick that can read the signal the same as the goggles do, straight into a computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is, I did not know about that. That's pretty cool. So it basically has a 5.8 gigahertz receiver built into it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to order me one of those pretty quick here.
Yeah, we've got one of our regulars. We've got one of our regulars, Gary Yowie P51 has just bought one himself. He hasn't had a chance to test it and get it set up, but if he had, he'd be flying today, but
Oh, there's his helicopter.
Yeah, that thing's big.
First time I think I ever really watched Mitch. He was actually doing one of these flights. Is one of the first times I got to. He was doing a flight like this live on his show. I think his first live show that I saw of him. That's been a long time ago, but you know.
Mitch, my wife says you've got a nice house.
Oh, it looks good.
Yowie P51 said that looked like the Ishin RX helicopter, I assume.
I think it might be a home built. I think he does some building.
Oh, he does. He is the professor of building.
Yeah, no, he's taught me a couple things already about Betaflight that I didn't know.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
This is awesome. Seeing this live like this.
Comment from Zeb Meat there. Nice house till he screws the pooch. Is that a saying that I don't get?
Yeah, well, it's nice until he hits something or crashes or knocks the TV down or something like that. Yeah. To screw the pooch is the same as a Charlie Foxtrot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we got there? Is that that's his green screen?
There's Mitch right there.
Yeah. Nice flight. That's awesome.
That's where Spank the monkey lives, is on that green screen all rolled up.
Yes, my wife's laughing that there.
That's the name of his monkey. If you guys watch his live show, he named it Spank.
Yep. It kind of pops up in the background.
Yeah. Hey, Mitch. Good to see you.
Low battery coming up, it says Joe Vladok. Again, if anyone wants to fly in your part of the world, doesn't matter if it's indoors, outdoors, or orbiting Earth, as long as you can send me an RTMP feed, we'll chuck it up there today.
Nice house till he has kids. Old man, new tricks. No, I don't think I think he's way beyond that now. Yeah, that's why I never understand these, guys my age marrying these, 35. Oh, I gotta go. I just got a call. Carry on with that later.
Okay, the boss is called.
Just getting juicy stuff. Hey, I wanted to show you guys something real quick. This is a little RC plane. It's a Mustang. It's a P51 Mustang, and the company, it's Ishin, sent me 2 of these for some reason, and so I actually sent one to Mel with 400 AGL, and Mel and I are going to do a review of this thing. I've flown this 4 times now, put 4 batteries through it, and it is awesome to fly. It's got 6 axis gyro in it. And so it's self-stabilizing. It's kind of like the little FPV drones. It's got a beginner. It's got 3 modes, and so you can actually switch all the stabilization off. And I flew it the other day, and as soon as I switched the stabilization off, it went just did a crazy big flip over, and I had to switch back on. But it's a breeze to fly with the switch on. So look for that video soon, coming from both Mel and I. And this thing was ready to fly with the remote control and 2 batteries, charger, less than $100. Very cool.
Is that a P51 Mustang?
It is, yeah. Did you catch all that?
No, I didn't. I had to go do something for my wife. But
well, I was just saying that I got 2 of these, and I sent one to Mel, and we're both gonna fly it and do like sort of a co-sponsored or a co
review. Yeah,
but it is a P51 Mustang. It's a very very cool little, and it's got gyro stabilization. So it's
really cool. Yeah, that's how I got into all this to begin with. Was my wife bought me a Cessna plane.
Oh, nice. Little high wing.
Yeah, just a little one of those little Cessna, or no, it was a set. No, it wasn't either. It was a little Cub Cadet, is what it was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and by Horizon Hobby, and that was my first RC thing. And next thing I know, I'm doing SEMAs and the 5, the 8, and
Yep.
done a couple others, and then I ended up buying my Spark. I bought 3 at the same time because
The Spark was awesome, and it still is.
I still
have 2 Sparks, and I'm like, oh, I haven't flown them in a long time, but do I hold on to them, or do I sell them? Do I give them away? What do I do with these things? Because there is a point where you need to clear some shelf space.
Yeah, well,
just let me interrupt for a couple of moments. Brad Alston is saying he would love to fly today. So unfortunately, he has no batteries available today.
Oh,
Brad, no good. But let me just quickly remind people while we're waiting for Chris, who did want to fly today as well. If anyone wants to fly, go into your DJI Go 4 application, click the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner, then go down to, where is it? I've got to get it. Oh, my phone's playing up now. It's always the way.
Well, can I make 2 shameless plugs while you sort that out?
Absolutely.
Okay, my 2 shameless plugs. Number 1, if you don't already know about it, Spin Up is on. It'll be September 12th. It'll be online on YouTube. And we are doing also a thing called Spin Down on September 26th, which is going to be in Dillon, Colorado. This weekend, I will get some information about Spin Down on the site. But if you want to come, you can buy a ticket to Denver. It's about a 90-minute drive from Denver. But let's talk about Spin Up. September 12th, I will have a ton of people, including Remote Pilot 101 will be one of the speakers. I've got the Drone Girl. I've got some FPV pilots. I've got sponsorship from DJI. I've got sponsorship from the Drone Racing League, DRL. I've got sponsorship from Remote Pilot 101. Ton of giveaways. So here's the thing. You can watch for free, absolutely free. It'll be on YouTube, just, in regular thing. And then if you want to be able to win something, you have to buy a ticket. It's only $15, and you go to spinup2020.com if you want to buy a ticket. And if you're part of the flight crew, you get a free ticket. So if you are already in the flight crew, you should already have gotten a free ticket. And if you are not part of the flight crew and you join, I will send you a link so you can get a free ticket. So there's the sort of long version of it. So
I bought my ticket right when you
saw that. I saw that. Very much appreciated. Yeah. Well, and so and Lloyd, I mean, definitely we're going to have a lot of fun because we're going to be able to bring people in just like this. We're going to have videos from people, and then we're going to have some people like Ken Herron will be in the studio with me. So it's going to be that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Can I do a shameless plug now?
Yeah.
It's your show.
It's your show. Yeah. Whatever you want.
Well, it is my show, but since I'm also on your channel, I just wanted to share to people who may not watch my channel regularly. Lloyd, if you could do us a favor and put a link to my channel in Kelly's channel chat, and I'd love to have a few more people. We do a show at this time of the day once a week, and in fact, we normally start at this time 10 minutes ago. We started an hour earlier this week so that we could have people come in and fly when it was still daylight hours in the US. So that's why we started an hour earlier. And my intent is once a month to do this global flying thing where we have people come in from all around the world, show off a little bit of your part of the world, show off your flying, show off your drone, whatever it is you want to send in. We'll put it to air and have a little bit of fun together, especially with all of this isolation and COVID stuff. You can go flying and catch up with some people virtually.
Well, and I'll say, actually, let me go further with that. If you already aren't subscribed to Oz by Drone, go do that. And also, if you're not subscribed to the Grumpy Vlogger, go do that. And when it comes time in the U.S., this has got to be the vote right here. Grumpy Vlogger for president. So subscribe to his channel, subscribe to Oz by Drone, and of course, I hope you're subscribed to Ready Set Drone. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight on all of the channels, being in the chats, flying your drones with us. This is fun and this is positive, and we come from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, all different countries, right? I mean, we've got people here from all over the world, and you know what? Let's not let hate and all that bad stuff get in the way. Let's just be positive, and this is what this is all about. So thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
So let's quickly get back
on my show. Just stop.
Let's quickly get back to the how to get in, how to get into the live stream. So in DJI Go 4, there's my phone right now. I hope you can see some of that.
I just got a text.
And I've got something from wish.com. Go away. Select live broadcast.
Dear Greg, you're the hunkiest. Love Mel. What?
My wife's the producer. So select live broadcast platform and select custom RTMP. I hope no one's sending me any texts. My wife would be very unhappy. And there we go. Put in something like that, rtmp://rtmp.dronebook.org/live/ and then something unique to you. She's doing that to make it a little bit bigger. Nice and simple. Put that in and it will come up on my screen and we'll have it going out live to air. Still waiting on Chris Hope. So there we go. What else have we got? We've got one more news story while we wait for... We've got two more news stories? No, we've got one. My producer's holding up two fingers. It's one. I know what I'm doing. The last story for the moment. This one was on Ken's show yesterday. Looters stealing $16,000 worth of drones from a DJI Manhattan store. Let's just quickly play the footage and we'll talk about it. So the one thing that I did say in chat on Ken's show yesterday is if you're going to steal something, it's not a smart thing to steal something that's got a GPS in it. So if you want it for yourself, if you hypothetically wanted to go fly one of these products yourself, it's going to have a GPS every time you take off. And I'm pretty sure DJI have got the serial numbers of these devices. So it just doesn't make sense. And even if you go and sell them somewhere else, guess what's going to happen? The person who takes off with it is also going to have their location and their coordinates sent off to DJI. It's not a winning proposition.
Yeah, and then when you sell it into when you send it in for repair, you know, I mean, what are they going to say? It's awkward. #awkward.
Yeah.
I think Geekspawn is right. I think they were display models. You know, it's really a shame. It's really a shame that happened. It's also really a shame that you know, that we have to have people out there protesting and that, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's a shame right now. It's as far as I'm going to say. But ultimately, I think you're right. I think that anybody who activated those drones, if they were activatable, is going to be in a bit of trouble. And I feel bad if they sell them on eBay and somebody accidentally gets it. So, by the way, everyone, to that point, I put in a video on YouTube about how to sell and how to buy a drone. So if you're buying or selling a drone on eBay, go watch that video first because it'll help you avoid problems. And I want to say hello, by the way, to Charles Meyer, who is in the house right now, who was and currently is my subscriber of the month. I sent Charles a package just the other day, and he'll be getting it soon, I hope, with some really cool subscriber of the month stuff in it. So, hey, Charles, good to see you.
Okay, I'm just having a look in chat there. At Clutch, RTMP doesn't work for me for some reason. Phantom 4 Pro V2. It should absolutely work. So here's something I want to tell you. Do not cut and paste it if you've got that in YouTube chat, because the cut and paste puts in an extra new line at the end and the DJI Go app doesn't like that. Just type it in directly yourself. rtmp://rtmp.dronebook.org/live/ and then something unique to you. You could put in, what was that name again? How do you say that? Atl Clutch? Something like that. Throw that in. Is there anyone else who wants to fly today? We're still waiting on Chris Hope. How much longer will you guys be live? Mike Miller is asking in my chat. I'll be live until we either run out of things to say, and let's face it, we've got Lloyd Mendenhall in the house.
Yeah, I never run out of stuff to say, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Something like that. Smart controller streaming, Greg. We've got
you got to say something that starts with that phrase. You got to
Do what now?
start. Do what now? You got to start you got to start something that you say with "when I was a kid."
Can I just
When
pause
I
for a
was a kid,
second?
yeah.
We've got
Here we
that
go.
2-shot with those two, with both of my guests. Can you put that back on the screen to my producer? Put that up live and then edit that, because we've got like double mic from Kelly or both of them or something, and it sounds really loud. Top left. Yeah, come on. Edit the audio. Edit the layers. Go to the layers. Keep
See,
going.
I got to
Up,
turn my
up.
hand. My hand
First
doesn't
tab.
do that. You're on the wrong
First
side.
tab.
You know, Lloyd.
Yeah,
you know what we
turn
should
off
do
the audio
sometime?
there.
We should get on and play a
And
song
sing it
together.
live.
That'd be fun.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah. But I play country, so it's only 3 chords. That's all I know.
There's only 2 kinds of music: country and western, right? So
That's right. Yeah.
I can
Well,
play.
the reason I started learning to
Someone
play
likes the
country
Blues
is because
Brothers.
it only, yeah.
Was that the Blues
I do.
Brothers where that came from?
Oh yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Was it the original Blues Brothers or was it the second one? I can't remember.
I think it was the original. It was.
Yeah, the first one when they played in that that country bar. They played Rawhide.
Yep, and everybody went crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so my Ready Set Drone song is only 3 chords. It's
good.
C, D, and E, I think. When I fly, I won't fly alone. I'm gonna fly with Ready Set Drone, 'cause Ready Set Drone will always fly with me.
What? Gee, let's see.
I'll send you the chords if you want to learn.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing: you have to play it on ukulele.
Well, I'll give it a shot.
All right. So, hey guys, come on! Somebody's got to.
We have Chris Hope. We have Chris Hope, who's taken his little blue pill, and we've also got 10 Toes, who's up at the moment as well.
Nice. All right, they're both up. I see you like the joke. Now you're using it.
We live in a society where pizzas get to your house before police. There's something wrong with that.
Well, so you got to add when I was a kid.
Yeah, when I was a kid, yeah.
I was young. Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like that now. I tell them to get off my lawn. What's really great,
You know what? That's why I do this shot right here, so I can see my lawn to make sure nobody's on it.
Yeah, well, I have a Ring doorbell, so I get to actually talk to them. I can just use my phone and talk to them. Don't even have to get up.
You're the high-tech geezer.
That's it. You got it.
Guess what we've got?
I can just use my phone and talk to them. There's Chris Hope. Yeah, and there's what I sound like. That's it. You got it.
Guess what we've got? I'm going to mute that so that we don't have too much of ourselves back. But we've got another one as well.
I don't know if y'all hear me or not, but hello, everybody.
We got you, Chrissy.
Come over to the house.
Just barely got home. It's been a day, but
It's
all
been a
right.
day
I'm home now.
indeed.
It's over with. It's good to see y'all.
Yeah, and he got there just as the sun set. That always gets a bit.
Landing.
And at the same time, we've got 10 Toes.
10 Toes, yeah.
Appropriate closing shot.
Yeah.
10 Toes, are you
Barely
flying?
got home. It's been a day, but
It's been a day indeed.
it's over with. It's good to see you.
I'll get him to turn off his audio in a sec, or we'll put him up. I don't know if 10 Toes is going to go flying, but we've definitely got 10 Toes there.
Chris, that's just beautiful.
Yeah, he gets some of the best shots of anybody. Oh, there's 10 Toes.
I'll kill some of that audio. Chris has absolutely got some beautiful shots, but I don't want to deprive 10 Toes while we've got that video coming in. Try to get a little bit of everything.
Looks like he's hovering right in the lab there.
Thank you, Brother Bob.
Yeah.
Right inside.
Yeah, Sunrise Media or Sunrise Water Media says it's almost like Chris planned it to get there just as the sunset was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. There goes Ten Toes through the house. Lost him. Get some breakup. Hey, Chris, can you just
Lord,
straight
I
left
planned
or
on being
right?
home by 3:30, 4 o'clock's what I had planned on. Not 8:30.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, it is almost 8:30, isn't it? You know, this is awesome that we have this kind of technology. And
What you want to do, Kelly?
Just push your roll just right or left just a little bit. I just want to see a little bit of motion in that shot.
And also, Ten Toes, if you're listening on YouTube, do us a favor, land for a little bit, and we'll go for a tour around your house once we're finished with Chris, because this is too good to do split screen.
yeah, they're both of them are good.
I'd love to see your stuff, but Chris doesn't have a battery charger.
Yeah, there's
that's
the
true.
tank. There's a little island in that tank. Look at that. I didn't realize he had an island in it.
No.
Yeah, that's my neighbor.
Wow.
That's my neighbor's pond.
Hmm.
I got a tank. He got a lake.
The technology that we can do this. I mean, who'd have thought?
So
Yeah,
let me just.
And Lloyd, the even cooler thing is,
All right,
you know,
guys, y'all go
the
check
people.
out 10 Toes right quick. I'm adding Greg ready to go and Kelly.
Okay,
Oh,
see you,
really,
Chris. Take care.
Okay, let's go to 10 Toes now. There we go.
Is he
Cool.
live or is that
We've got a
frozen?
freeze frame.
Looks
We got a
frozen.
freeze frame. It looks like we lost 10 toes.
I see a
10
smile.
Toes.
Well, if you're going to go with a smile.
Yeah.
I got a tank. He got a lake.
Okay, 10 Toes, come get your drone back up again, and we'll go for a fly around with yours in a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, let me share with people a story about the technology of how on earth this is all happening. First of all, the laptop that is sitting here in front of me is running an RCMP server, which comes in, which is where your signal comes in. Then I've got a copy of Wirecast here that's pulling from that RCMP server that's then sending NDI across to the other computer over there, which is where my wife is producing the master shot. I only control which drone shots come in. She does the rest of the production. Then that goes out via RTMP to a proxy that's sitting in Dallas, which is then rebroadcasting it to my YouTube, Kelly's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter.
Don't forget Smash.
Smashcast, Mixer,
Hey,
D-Live. I nearly forgot one.
Smashcast, let us know, because I'm going to guess the Smashcast count, view count is pretty low. I'm going to guess that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
To be honest, look, I could tell, but to be honest, I send to these platforms to try and grow something there, but at the moment I don't have the tech to pull in the chat from those locations, so it's pretty baseline. I get a couple of viewers each week. In Dallas. Thanks. Which is then rebroadcasting it to my YouTube, Kelly's YouTube. I'm going to turn that audio down. And we've got 10 Toes ready to go and fly again. This will probably be our last flight of the day today, unless someone comes in while we've got 10 Toes live to air. He's listening to us, so there's a bit of a delay, but he'll take off very shortly, I'm sure.
Hey, and someone just remember, guys, that tonight's super chats are going towards the Grumpy Vlogger Ukulele Fund. So I'm really not trying to be money grubby. I really want to get Lloyd a ukulele. So come on, folks.
Maybe that's why you haven't gotten any. They're thinking, oh God, we don't want to hear him play a ukulele.
I don't want to get him the Barbie's My First Ukulele or anything like that. I want to get him a legit ukulele. So I need $25 or so.
You know what, though? Kelly, I've just got to say, Lloyd brings us enough pain as it is already. You really want to inflict that on the world?
No, I think Lloyd playing a ukulele would be amazing. He can't be. As a matter of fact, he won't be grumpy when he plays it. He'll be grumpy the minute he picks it up, and then as soon as it does, he'll be ungrumpy, and then he'll put it down, and then he'll be grumpy again.
Yeah.
Look,
You can't be grumpy while you're
I've
flying
got the answer.
or riding a jet ski.
I've got the answer. We've got the answer from Night Train, who said, "Can't we just get him a kazoo?" Ten Toes is telling us, well, he's in the air, but the problem is we've still got the picture of you on the ground, so that's not working so well. Old Man Nutrix, welcome. Ten Toes, if you go and reconnect again with a different RCMP key, make it something other than Ten Toes, because that one's showing just a freeze frame for me. And this will be our last stream of the day if you can make that happen. In the meantime, Lloyd, let's have some fun. Can you come up with a...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to play Stop the Yank.
Give me a minute.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have some fun with our American guests when they come in. Normally, we ask questions to try and stump the Yank based on Australian trivia, but since Lloyd considers himself an honorary Australian, he's going to be the quiz master today. But he didn't know we were going to do this, so he's now Googling around what useless trivia can we ask Kelly today?
Hey, why don't you ask me what the name of the capital region is called in Australia?
Yeah, what's the name of the capital region called in Australia, Kelly?
You know what, Kelly? Let me do this. I'm going to ask you something that my wife was trying to work out during becoming a citizen, because you actually have to do a test to become an Australian. So,
okay, as long as it doesn't have to do with the metric system, I'm good.
Name the states of Australia.
Oh, goodness. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin,
Lloyd, have you got a cricket sound effect?
Hey,
I don't even have my sound effects machine on. That's sad.
Wayne King just gave us 20 Australian dollars for Lloyd's ukulele. Thank you, Wayne.
Thanks, Wayne.
I'm sorry.
We got 10 Toes back. Go for a fly around. We did have 10 Toes, but the internet... Yeah.
Just died again. Actually, Kelly, I'm impressed. I am impressed that you.
I had to memorize that in 5th grade, and so that was from 5th grade. Stuck right here.
Well, see, back when I was young, we only had to learn 48 states.
That's right. When I was young.
Oh, it's gone grey again. 10 Toes. It looks like we're not gonna get you today. It keeps dropping out.
Commies in Alaska and Hawaii, they weren't there yet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, Lloyd, have you got another question for him? Come on, give us one of yours.
Let's see.
Wait. So Greg, name all the Australian states. Go.
Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia, Tasmania. That's it. There are 6 states, but there are also territories, and the territories are Northern Territory and Australian Capital Territory. And there's also the Australian Antarctic Territory. Did you know we had our own territory in Antarctic? Anyway, there we go. We got 10 Toes back. Let's put him up for a minute.
Well, that's pretty lame. There's only 6.
And
but they're very big states.
Well, Texas is big.
Yeah, but I think if I remember right, I think that like 3 Texas will fit in one of their states.
Really?
Yeah.
Australia is big, very big.
It's a lot huger than it looks on the map. See, is because the Americans had so much to do with designing the map, and England did too.
That's right.
They made other countries look smaller.
That's right.
That is a known fact.
Fake news.
So let me just quickly do one thing over here. Old Man Utrix, I want to thank you for the super chat in my channel. My money is going to be a bribe to Lloyd not to play the ukulele.
Oh, that's just wrong. We got 10 toes back again.
Yeah, so for those of you who want the ukulele, give to Ready, Set, Drone. For those who want him not to play the ukulele, super chat into my channel. And we've lost him again. Okay, look, we've had a lot of fun today. We're going to finish with 10 toes. We'll just do the quick little outro for the moment. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of Oz by Drone, Ready, Set, Drone, The Grumpy Vlogger. Go check out all of those channels. One other important thing, go and have a look at the description for this video today, because in the description, we've got links to all of the stories that we talked about today. Go and check out the original sources, read more about it. It's interesting to go and do that, and also to support those original creators. We'll be back next week at 11 a.m. Sydney time, so an hour later than we started today. I don't know who the guest is going to be yet. If you want to be a guest on Oz by Drone, come and write to us. Send it to upload@gregcoonit.com. Normally I have fancy graphics that I'd send up at this time, but because I'm doing all this extra stuff, I had to turn that off. Any last words from you, Kelly?
Hey guys, thank you so much. I always enjoy catching up with both you guys and everyone in the chat. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Again, spread the love and breathe out the jive.
And Lloyd?
Yeah, I agree with Kelly. You know, it was a great show. Brad Allison, we do this usually the first Friday of the month, but
you know what? We're not going to do it first Friday anymore, because it kind of, we're going to do it the week after Ready, Set, Drone's first Friday. That way, if he wants to be part of it and part of the insanity, he's available.
Yeah,
that we can have some fun with it.
I love the simulcast. I appreciate you putting it on my channel, and guys, again, if even if you don't end up buying a ticket for Spin Up, definitely put it on your calendar for September 12th. I hope I can get my goal. I'm really hoping this would just be so awesome to have 1,000 simultaneous viewers on Spin Up on September 12th, all at once. So let's make it happen.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, as we finish for today, there's one last thing I want to leave with you all. There's only 5 toes there.
We're missing half of 10 toes. We've only got 5.
Okay. Look, it's been fun again. That's all I've got for today. See you next time. Have a great week, and bye for now. See you, everyone.